Welcome to the new RiverCityGamers Podcast, hosted by SCXCR and Well Unreal 007, as well as many other members from the RiverCityGamers website. Stay tuned for all the gaming news, new pickups, and everything else we feel like talking about on the RiverCityGamers Podcast.
Yes, that was pretty much E3. Thanks for tuning in.
There was an E3?
Well, yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure that intro was like just summing up what happened in the past few months in terms of this podcast.
Yeah, I've been extremely busy, so I couldn't record it. Zero's been extremely busy, so he can record it. Yeah, it was just bad timing all around. But we should be back on a regular schedule now. In the meantime, a lot of stuff happened in the middle, which we aren't going to cover. I guess we can briefly mention a couple of conventions we went to.
Was there anything you guys did before Anime North in between, or?
I went to A&G as a staff member and won their wrestling title. First person in the con's history to successfully defend the title. Then Anime North happened.
Yeah, Anime North was pretty good this year. That was a con Jordan or AngelHalo did not go to, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was busy dealing with people who were puking.
Oh, well, that's great. That sounds like post-con shit anyway.
Oh, so you're
mid-con shit.
Oh, so you're playing Roller Coaster Tycoon? Okay.
Oh my. Just briefly talk about Anime North. It was a fun year. Did you guys have fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I had no fun.
Shut up! You cleaned up after our mess. There were some personal things that weren't great, which by personal I mean there were no reproduction cart sellers, which mean I couldn't duel to the death with Blondie, which was really disappointing.
Well, even if they were there was no guarantee they would have Tales of Fantasia.
I don't know. It was weird that they didn't show up, and I still got screwed out of playing a Halo game where I sit down, about to play it, gets yanked away from me because they need the consoles. Even though Zero's not here, the 3 panels he was a part of, well, he had his abridging panel, that obviously went well. I wasn't there. I'm pretty sure you guys said that it went as good as it usually does.
Yeah, it's weird. It keeps getting pushed later in the day, and the room keeps getting smaller, and they keep packing it.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to actively work against them or something. The Let's Play panel, the Let's Play panel, I hopped in a few minutes late. That went all right. It was Zero, CJ, and not Phaelus.
Friend of CJ's.
I do not know what his name is. And then there was the Monster Hunter panel that me and Zero did, which went so much better than we expected outside of the fact that Anime North did not give us a projector, although they approved AV and weren't specific with exactly what AV got approved. The panelists, even sent me emails assuming that I got the projector, talking about, yo, make sure your PowerPoint stuff is ready. And I'm like, what am I going to use it on? It didn't give me anything. I had to use my laptop screen and just, show it to the audience. It was so bad. But even after that, the attendance was really nice, and the discussion was, a lot of fun.
And someone tried to buy the plushies.
Well, yeah, not for sale. And we were only giving one mic. Did I want the panel to be produced better? Obviously, but I didn't care at the end of the day because I was just happy with how it happened and shit. Debating on doing another one or not, it's a tough call. I don't know if I was going to do history again, I have no idea what I would add to it outside of, the one game that's coming out really soon.
Well, in the meantime, you can actually watch the panel. It's up on the RiverCityGamers YouTube.
Oh, awesome.
Along with, because Unreal had to do the laptop thing, but in the video, he added the video, so you can see it clearly in there.
And in the meantime, because it's that time of year, we're going to forego our regular format and instead dive directly into this year's E3.
E3.
This happened.
As it usually does every year.
So what did happen? I had to miss most of it.
You didn't miss anything when EA was showing stuff. That was frustrating. They were the first ones, so they decided to get their bullshit out of the way, and it still sucked.
So, hold on. I'm going to guess right now. I'm going to take a wild guess of this one. Sports, Battlefield, sports, some other game, sports.
You know what? I'll take you through this because I only watched 3 of the conferences this year because I was working through most of it.
Can I help you out?
Sure.
I just want to say one of the biggest themes was, yo, here's this game you're looking forward to, but let's talk about me first. I'm the one standing between you and the thing. That was the whole thing. They would fucking drag shit out before showing anything.
We're real people working on real games. Trust us. We're human beings.
Look at this We Are Gamers shirt. Yeah, what, you want to see Battlefield? No, just wait. It's just wait 5 minutes. Oh wait, 5 minutes passed. Hang on, forget
really
about it.
Like
that thing lied.
Put some masking tape on a black shirt and wrote "We Are Gamers" on it.
The other thing is they had like the E3 conference going on at the same time as some conference thing in London where Peter Moore is. So they had like 2 things running at once, and they would go back and forth. And I think they would go back to the London applause when fucking the E3 one pretty much generated almost no applause. I saw the cuts. You can't fool me.
So let's just breeze through what E3 did. Yes, they did the split show between...
What E3 did. They showed games, I guess.
Between E3 and London. And...
Yeah.
What is
the
last kind of sports game you should show to a London audience?
Madden.
Madden.
Oh yeah, American football is very popular in Europe.
They did eventually show football.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And I might as well just get into this right now. They have a story mode in it with some guy named Alex Hunter. And why?
Because I want to be the very best.
Because the 2K basketball game did a story mode thing?
Dude, people joked about like living to dream for FIFA, and they actually did it, except I won't believe that it's going to be living to dream unless a ghost shows up.
I just find it funny that they're doing this kind of like production with these sports games when most people that play these games, they pretty much just pick a team, just go through the career mode and just play it out that way. They don't really need, some like high production value thing to say, hey, you get to play as this guy and this is his story. I don't think they would really care about it that much.
The only other thing I could think is that they're trying to reach like a more hardcore audience, trying to throw the story mode in, but even that doesn't make sense. It's not like there aren't people buying FIFA games.
Nah.
But they want to tell a story about football, soccer, whatever.
So strike some deal with like Ronaldo or Messi or someone like that and do a story mode with them. People might give a shit. We've been talking way too long about a sports ball game. Let's move on.
Oh my god.
Titanfall 2.
Yeah, they open with that. One of the funniest things about that is that the main dev guy from Respawn Entertainment was like, "Alright guys, sing it with me. Single player mode." I'm just like, oh my god.
Something we should have...
Just the fact that they had to like out it as a selling point, it's like, it just shows how sad Titanfall 1 was in that regard. I mean, at least they're doing it, but it's so bizarre to me that the way they're going to do the story, it's like, it's pretty much going to build the relationship between you, the pilot, and your giant robo-man, which means, yo, they're going to end this like the Iron Giant. That thing's going to kill itself at the end just to save humanity. I'm calling it right now.
It's starting to sound like Zone the Enders to me.
You stay, I go.
They pretty much just came out and went, hey look, it's something we should have had in the first game. Yeah.
Titanfall 2 looks fine. I'm more interested in it mainly for the fact that it is not an Xbox One exclusive. It's multi-platform now, so at least I have a chance to play it.
That's a pattern we'll go back to later.
I'm willing to bet it has no local multiplayer whatsoever. Like, pretty much every EA game these days.
Oh, probably not. No, okay. Anyways, moving on.
Can't wait for it to go obsolete in a few years.
We saw...
Well, at least it has single player to fall back on now instead of nothing.
Moving on, we saw... This is something EA did a couple of times, but we saw basically a dev video for Mass Effect Andromeda.
Okay.
There was a tweet I saw that pretty much said, like, one of the former writers of Mass Effect tweeted about that. It's like, wait, they're still showing behind the scenes thing? That means development is not going well.
Oh.
And I'm like, ooh, yikes. I mean, they showed more than they did last time, but they didn't show much still. Like, what are we expecting? Like, do we have gameplay yet? No. You're expecting this to release next year? There's concerns. Number one concern is EA. Number two is, what are you guys doing?
And numbers 3 through 5, also EA.
I have no idea what to think about Mass Effect Andromeda. As much as I would like for it to be good, it's concerning that they still haven't really shown something playable / that kind of stuff.
Yeah, at least
has been behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, we get it, you're making it, but at this point, can we at least see what's being done, or at least, you know, like the actual game, not just like, hey, we're working on it.
Yeah, trust me, that is still not like the worst case of the dev diary thing that they did at E3.
We'll get to that.
We will. I will go off on a tangent when we get there, but we'll get there.
EA announced something called the Play to Give initiative, where somehow in-game challenges can lead to donations to charity.
Gotta make him dinner.
Huh. Okay, then.
5 months of Madden.
That immediately destroys my opinion on EA being soulless corporation.
Yeah, doing stuff for charities is fine, but the way they threw that together just doesn't feel right.
How does it even work?
SCR just said, like, do in-game challenges, donate to charity. It's like, what, do they bill your bank account when you do it?
Maybe it's...
Is it like Pokemon Shuffle where you gotta pay coins to do certain stages?
Or if it's like, if a certain amount of people do that challenge, EA will do a donation.
EA will take their precious money and spend it on donations.
After that, we saw something called the EA Originals Program, aka the EA sucking up the souls of indie developers and churning out some of their games.
Oh boy.
One of the best things that came out of the stream I watched, mainly in the chat, is during that segment, the guy started off by saying, "We will take all the profit." He said more after that, but that part alone just made it come out like saying, EA's just gonna take all the profit from these guys, and I'm just like laughing my ass off over here.
Yeah,
that's not what they meant, obviously, but
they brought out a super nervous developer, although not as nervous as the Yarn guy.
Nowhere near as nervous as the Yarny dev. I heard Unravel was good, though, which is good for that guy.
And they showed off a game called...
Was it pronounced Fee or Faye?
I think it said Fia or something like that.
It's like pronouncing...
So, Fe is about a young cub, which is... It's a game with a young cub, and that's redundant because cubs are young.
Actually, the best way I could probably describe that game is that it looks like a 3D... oh crap, what's that game? It looks like a 3D Ori and the Blind Forest. At least to me, anyway.
Well, that's better than the description I came up with.
I would have just said, like, 3D platformer. But then it's like, no, that doesn't... Ukulele is the 3D platformer at E3.
My description was... Indie for Affinity backwards Alan Wake.
Okay, fine. I guess that's one way to put it. Sure.
And then we got to the Star Wars portion.
Oh, right. The way they did this is like right after, like, I think my favorite Chip Cheesem tweet was like right after that. It's like, well, that was a fucking dangled corpse of Star Wars falls from the ceiling.
Oh, boy.
Because it just blared the Star Wars theme immediately after that, and this was. I'll straight up say this was abysmal.
This was 5 minutes of nothing.
It was like, yo, we have all these games in development. Let's not show you them.
Instead, we'll show you how much of a big Star Wars fans we are with this.
Dude, the worst part is they spent so much budget on putting the stupid fucking special effects in their behind-the-scenes video. Like, yo, this area in Los Angeles has two suns. Look, it's the fucking X-Wing fly! You see the fucking... Guys! We love Star Wars! We totally love fucking Star Wars! Look at it! We're making games, we're not gonna show you that shit! No!
The twist is that
look, it's the aluminum Falcon!
The twist is that is the game. It's like that one game where you play as a game developer studio.
Game Dev Tycoon?
Game Dev Tycoon?
Yeah, this is Game Dev Tycoon 2.
But, like, yo, we got R2-D2 and BB-8 on my desk. I'm drawing on my tablet.
Well, that's
I'm
the Star Wars.
Post that to Tumblr, not my dev fucking team.
Well, that's the Star Wars DLC for Game Developer Tycoon 2.
That was so frustrating. Like, it's like, oh, Battlefront stuff that's coming out relatively soon. Yeah, Lando's coming, I guess. He's not dancing with Han Solo, so why should I care? Oh, Respawn Entertainment's motion capturing, like, fucking lightsaber duels with wooden sword. Let's just put special effects to, fucking make it look like they're actually doing lightsabers, guys. And this new thing that isn't Star Wars 1313 that Visceral's doing, here's some brief cutscene that's totally not gonna be in-game graphics. Fuck off! God. If playing Battlefront led to that, like, feeling or that rant, then thanks. God. I needed to get that out. That was, like, fuck sports, but that was the most frustrating part of the EA conference, and probably the most insulting, honestly.
Oh, so you didn't watch the Battlefield thing after the conference?
No, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. I didn't watch much of it, but I did see a bit of that.
We'll get to that.
Wait, yeah. Are you talking... Oh, well, yeah, we will get to that.
Actually, after this, they did announce the Battlefield 1 bullshit with the 32v32 with celebrities and players and shit after that. And they showed them talking to Jamie Foxx and Zac Efron.
Because having celebrities endorse your games is never awkward at all.
Oh, it gets more awkward later on. We'll get to that.
Dude, I think Jamie Foxx phoned it in.
What the fuck's a video game?
I don't even know half these people.
Wait, I get paid how much? Okay.
The fuck is a World War One?
So they spent a while going over Battlefield 1. It pretty much led to the end of the conference.
Here's how they did it. It's like, here's part of the trailer, fucking, and then they stop it. It's like, yo, I'm gonna let you finish Battlefield, but let's talk a little bit more. And then they showed the same part of the trailer again, but the rest of it. I'm just like, why'd you show the beginning part again? Like, I will go back to this trailer later on during, like, the E3 discussion, and it won't be that far along, but you'll know when I bring it up. There's one thing we missed with the Madden shit, how they had, like, esports players out on stage, and this one guy was just, like, staring at the ceiling. Like, look at us, it was, like, the first guy they walked past, and he was just, like, ugh. And of course, the guy at the end had a fucking broken collarbone. And he's like, oh, they're gonna compete. And it's like, well, he's handicapped. How the fuck is he gonna play Madden?
Oh yeah, he said he heard it racing his friend with his shoes untied.
Seriously. We're not making that up. That was actually said. Is it true? Probably. Is it stupid? Absolutely.
I will admit that Battlefield 1 at least looks kind of interesting in terms of like just because not a whole lot of games do the World War I thing. I mean, sure there was Valiant Hearts, but that was more of like a puzzle type game.
I'm pretty sure the war letters or something that was like read in those games were real, right?
Yeah, and some of the collectibles you pick up were letters, so yeah. But going back to Battlefield 1, it's like there's some interesting stuff, and I do kind of like that era of history, but
the game itself looks fine. There's little things that they're doing that's really nice. I have a little faith in that game. It was the best game of their conference, but we may as well say that was probably the only game in their conference outside of FE.
Yeah, but even then, it's still Battlefield, so...
Yeah, it's mostly what you expect, but they changed a couple of things. Like I know one of the biggest things they did is that there's animations for getting in and out of shit. No more like teleporting right in, which is really interesting to me. It's like, wow, it took them this long and they're actually doing it. Huh. Also, don't make me fly the Zeppelin. I will immediately crash it into the ground on purpose.
Well, speaking of that, after the conference they had this big 32-on-32 battle, which was led into by an extremely cringeworthy video between two YouTubers talking trash to each other, and I don't remember their names. I don't want to remember their names. If you know them, don't tell me.
Yeah, that's where I like tuned out. I tuned back in as soon as Snoop Dogg showed up, though.
Yeah, they were doing a bunch of interviews beforehand with people who were participating, and mainly just going over the celebrities. They had DeMarcus Cousins, who's a player for the Sacramento Kings. They had Richard Sherman from the Seattle Seahawks. They had Snoop Dogg and Wiz Khalifa.
I think they had Busta Rhymes also.
And they were interviewing people talking about their battle strategies, and most of them pretty much just said, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
That's honest, at least.
Yeah.
I mean, in fact, later on, when they were showing, like, over-the-shoulder videos of people playing the game, they cut to Snoop Dogg twice, from what I was looking at. And he was just crouched down, very slowly walking through this trench, and that was it.
But you missed the most important part. He was smoking up. Like, he had a fucking weed in his mouth, and then, like, later when they cut back, it's gone, which makes me imply that they took it away from him. It's like, no, you can't do that, Snoop. You can't fucking smoke up here. Or how about this? They cut to a gameplay shot of the airplane, and the airplane hits the windmill but doesn't crash or explode. It just hangs a bit, goes, and then he just, like, nosedives into the ground, and it still doesn't explode.
Yeah, I don't know if that actually damaged the plane at all.
It's hard to tell, but Jesus Christ. It should be said that stream was where the actual gameplay for Battlefield 1 was shown and not at the conference. So
So after going this long on EA, how about other conferences?
Well,
our final thought is that was terrible, so let's move on.
Yeah, let's just move on.
Later in the day, Bethesda had their conference, and they started it off with Quake Champions.
Oh boy, let's explain how on board I was until I got more info. And then I abandoned Quest pretty hard.
Yeah, I actually did watch the trailer for this one, and at first I was like, oh, cool. And then the next, Saber Interactive, oh boy. And I'm not liking what the trailer is implying to me.
Yeah, like on a rewatch, it's Quaker Watch, Quaker Oats. That's what it's implying, that it's going to be a hero shooter in Quake, and the hero stuff has me really concerned, because that Quake shouldn't need that unless somehow they make it work. I don't know if they're gonna make it work. We don't have any gameplay which they're going to do at QuakeCon. If I don't like what I see at QuakeCon, then I'm tapping out.
But yeah, it's like, Overwatch came out and that's super popular. Better make other games like them.
I really don't get what Bethesda is thinking. They will outsource for Doom's multiplayer and not advertise the single player very much.
Doom does extremely well. Maybe we should have these guys work on... No.
I know, right?
For a second, before I knew anything, when I saw Quake, I'm like, that's why they outsourced Doom multiplayer. It was doing fucking Quake this whole time. Nope.
Well, I imagine the single player of Doom was still pretty substantial for like a full team to do on, and even then, it's like I can't imagine them doing a Quake right after when the new Doom just came out. So, or at least not in a state where they would be able to show a trailer at E3.
Maybe. Well,
moving on.
Moving on to another thing from the I don't know what Bethesda was thinking catalog. They showed a teaser for Elder Scrolls Legends.
Pass.
The not Hearthstone collectible card game.
Oh, that, right.
Exactly.
Next.
Moving on.
Really just don't care.
They're doing a re-release of Skyrim for the consoles PS4 and Xbox One, which will bring mods to the console.
Okay.
Also to note, the remaster will also be available on PC. But
yes.
But the bigger news is that it's being remastered on consoles as well. But again, the mods being added in, which falls in line with what they've been starting to do with Fallout 4 on consoles.
What is kind of neat though is that PC owners that have the game and all the DLC get special edition for free.
Yeah, that's nice. I will say, at least the remaster at least looks like a substantial graphical difference instead of, a shitty one. Like, they showed a comparison, I'm like, oh, well, at least it looks like they did work. Still haven't played Skyrim. I don't think I will still. I don't know. Didn't they show more Fallout 4 stuff right after that? Yeah.
Like DLC?
And Todd Howard lying to everyone. That's why he wasn't there in person. He was locked away.
Moving on. Prey happened.
Yeah, just bluntly say it. Prey was a pleasant surprise on my end because they're having the Dishonored devs work on it, which I'm pretty sure was hinted at for a few years. But the Prey we saw is definitely not the same as the Prey 2 we saw and got promptly canceled for the past few years. Which, it kind of sucks for me, but seeing this new thing has me intrigued still. So I give it a pass. Hell, I would have bought it if they said System Shock, dude. Just from the way the trailer was done, I totally would have bought it as a System Shock game.
I haven't really seen any of the trailers or anything about it. I just know that it's what it pretty much became after like Prey 2 kind of got, scrapped because I guess it was just too ambitious for what it was. So they're kind of starting from scratch with this one. So
going from Prey, they went back into Doom and announced stuff.
They announced free stuff. I mean, the whole trailer was pretty much them explaining their post-launch support with like free updates, like more stuff for Snap Map, more stuff for multiplayer. Pretty much everything they said outside of their paid DLC thing was going to be free, like modes and stuff free. The paid DLC they said mainly consisted of like, I think, new weapon, new demon, and maps. And Snap Map would be getting like free updates with like new area skins and other features that were like from single player, like the weapon wheel and stuff. Like I approve of those free updates. All those free updates sound good because Doom is good.
And there were more updates for Bethesda games because they made an announcement for Elder Scrolls Online, which, if you heard the marketing PR that they were bullshitting you about this game, it was hilarious. I'm not going to go further into it, but they announced that all of the quests in the game are going to be open level-wise, so any player could do any quest line anywhere in the world.
Okay.
I still don't care about...
Now,
you know...
Am I pretty much the only one in this call right now who's played MMORPGs to some extent?
Does RuneScape count?
I don't know. Did you buy GF?
No, I saw a buying GF at Anime North. Does that count?
Does Phantasy Star Online count?
Okay, well, there's a reason that most MMOs have level caps so that you can't have any player doing any questline anywhere across the world. It's because what people will do is they'll just have their one low-level character join a group with another ridiculously high-level character and spend the entire time power leveling them and getting them all the good shit that they shouldn't have for their level.
I've seen that happen in Diablo, the Diablo games.
Anyway, moving on from that, Fallout 4 has VR stuff.
Naturally. Even Doom has VR stuff.
A lot of VR stuff this E3.
Yeah, VR is a theme of E3. Which I guess is natural, considering how things have progressed since the Oculus Rift first got, introduced, so...
And then Bethesda pretty much ended their conference with a bunch of Dishonored 2 shit. And with a bunch of Dishonored 2 shit, I mean a tech demo.
I haven't played Dishonored, so...
I might be the only one that has played Dishonored 1.
Looking forward to 2?
A little bit. Side note, can't wait for fucking crazy speedruns. But, I like Dishonored 1. I was able to play it for free. Yeah, Xbox actually offered that as a free game, and I played it and pretty much 100%ed it. It was nice. It's really interesting. Dishonored 2, I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm not super excited. I think what they're showing is good, but one of my biggest complaints with the Bethesda conference is they gave Dishonored 2 the Fallout 4 treatment from last year, as in spending a lot of time on it. But the thing is, with Dishonored 2, it felt dragged out. It felt really drawn out.
You could notice several times they were reusing footage.
Yeah. I mean, they showed gameplay at least. More than I could say for other companies.
And funny you mentioned Fallout 4, because the segment pretty much ended with them announcing a special edition. So, if you want to buy this, don't look for any sort of game stores that have it. Look to eBay.
Yeah,
okay.
But it doesn't work the same. They tried to end it the same way as they did last year, and it just didn't work this time. Mainly because, well, it's Dishonored 2. It doesn't have a big following like Fallout. If they did something like that for Elder Scrolls 6, which isn't a thing. If they did something like that for Elder Scrolls 6, it would make a little more sense. But Dishonored 2 is the big game they're pushing right now, which I have faith will be good. But man, it really did drag out at the end, and it kind of made me lose interest, honestly. I'm more interested in Prey, and Arcane's working on that too, so I'm just like, I want to see more Prey. You got me hooked.
So I believe that was it for the conferences that happened on Sunday. Someone has to take over at this point because I didn't see any of it.
Alright, okay. Yeah, I guess I'm on board then. It started with Microsoft. Usually on these, the first day of E3 thing, that Microsoft's usually the first one to go. In terms of video games, Microsoft showed video games. But they had to constantly remind you, this is an Xbox One and Windows 10 exclusive. Almost every single trailer began with that.
And I take it they didn't mention the word timed at any point in that?
I don't think so. A lot of those look like legit exclusives, except for... There may have been one game that is a timed exclusive.
Did they show Dead Rising 4?
They showed Dead Rising 4.
Timed exclusive. It's going to PS4 and Steam.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was the game I was gonna say that was the timed exclusive, because I just read up on it and it's like, oh. But they started with the new Gears. They had Laura Bailey reveal herself on stage to play. I guess. It was pretty much just Gears of War.
Yeah, and there's a few new little environmental stuff and like new weapons and stuff they showed.
How is this franchise
They had
still
to
going?
censor Laura Bailey's in-game dialogue because apparently she swears something so bad that the people at home, can't hear that shit. It was actually just like a cut to silence, and it's just like, like we thought something went wrong, but no, they censored it.
Also, a returning character.
Marcus Phoenix reveals himself. I'm hungry, son. Welcome back home.
So to me, this just confirms that this game does take place, like it takes place after Gears 3.
That was one of the first things they confirmed when it's like, oh, okay, your guy is Marcus Phoenix's son. Guess this is after Gears 3.
Okay, I mean that's fine and just whatever, new generation. But didn't Gears 3 kind of just resolve things, So why is everything back to like, oh, we have to fight more guys now?
Is it the Locust? Is the Locust?
Or is it something new?
I haven't been paying attention to what the enemies are. If they're not Locust, then yeah, you get a pass. But if it is the Locust, no, aren't they all fucking dead? Didn't?
Well, I wasn't gonna try to completely spoil that, but then again, I'm probably the only one that even cares about.
This is the E3 spoiler cast, so we're just gonna have to throw a warning, like, at the very beginning of it.
Whatever, I'm probably the only one that even really cares about the Gears of War story.
Well, I still kind of do, but I don't have a platform to play it on, not even a good...
And even then, it's like, I don't know, I got kind of burnt out after, like, Judgment. That was like a prequel.
Judgment burnt everyone out. If we're being completely honest. I thought you would be on board because the main guy is blonde-haired. Not Judgment, I'm talking this game.
I'm sure it'll be fine, it's just that I'm not, like, super excited to play her.
Will you be excited if Baird reveals himself? I'll be excited if Coltrane comes back, but that'd be kind of a cheap shot. Because Terry Tate office linebacker will rise again.
Well, we'll see when it comes out, but anyway, what's after Gears?
I think Forza Horizon 3.
Moving on.
Yeah, racing cars. Vroom.
I'm sure there are people out there that are interested in those types of games. Personally, I'm not. But Forza Horizon 3 does look, competent and fine. But since I'm not really into that, I can't really judge and say, I don't fucking care. Oh, right after Gears, they revealed General Ram as the new KI character. Which we already knew about. That wasn't a surprise. That was already something that we knew it was going to come. Because I'm pretty sure KI teased at it before.
Yeah.
They showed a new trailer for ReCore, which is that new game from the Metroid Prime devs. I'm not sure how I feel about ReCore. I mean, it looks good, but I'm not interested. I think that's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, I'm not sure what really to make of it yet. I wouldn't mind trying it out, but we'll see.
Oh, one of the big things... Actually, they didn't start with Gears of War 4. I can't believe I'm missing this. They revealed a new model of the Xbox One. They revealed the Slim model, which goes up to 2 terabytes and the 500 gig... Like, what pissed me off about this is... Well, a couple of things. What pissed me off about this is... They reveal the price, which is like $300, which is a good price, but they made it seem like that was the price for the 2 terabyte model. The $300 model is for the 500 gig, and I'm just like, oh, fuck! It's $400 for the 2 terabyte Slim, which, I'm thinking, I don't know how much I think, wasn't the terabyte main not Slim model for the Xbox One like 500 or 400? If it was, then the Slim just has better pricing because 1 terabyte's like $350.
Well, yeah, I mean it's a new model, so of course they're going to do that. And as much as they want to keep pushing their hardware with the new model of the console. But I feel like they're kind of detracting away from that a bit by having most of these games be also exclusive in the terms of like having it both on Xbox and Windows 10. Now, I have a pretty decent Windows 10 computer right now, so I can play these games without having to get an Xbox. So if there are quite a few people like me who just say, well, what's the point even getting an Xbox when I can just download them all on my PC if I have Windows 10?
Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit more. But a notable thing about that is their whole Xbox Play Anywhere thing, which is connected between Xbox One and PC. Like, you can have your account, save data, and all that stuff transfer between platforms. So theoretically, like, if you for some reason get an Xbox One after doing all your PC shit, you can just move that shit over, as long as it supports the Xbox Play Anywhere, which pretty much almost every game at this conference said it has that support.
Yeah, I mean that's fine if you like want to like move from your computer to like a living room or something. But if you're like me and you have your computer and your TV in the same room, there's no real point in doing that. Unless you want to change which way you're facing, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, right. The interesting thing is with the new Xbox thing is that they have you can order, like, it's weird. You can order they have like a remodeled controller, just like tiny remodeling on it. When the interesting thing is you can just go online and custom order it. And unfortunately, you can't, like, you can even have text on it, but no, you can't write anal fisting on your controller. Someone tried that, and it said it wasn't valid.
Well, damn it.
Someone hilariously just had one that said PlayStation on it. I'm not sure if they actually allowed that. I mean, if they did, it's actually pretty funny. So, yeah, I find it cool that you can just, like, order your own custom controller. Some people are doing, like, Angry Joe was, like, making his own Angry Army controller.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
But what confuses me, I'm not sure if that's, like, you have to do that because the Slim won't come with a controller, or the Slim will come with a controller, but you can't customize it. I'd have to look more into it. I don't know if it's just, like, a thing you can do if you just want another controller or not. I still think that's a cool idea. It's whatever, but it's an option. So they had a demo for Final Fantasy 15 at Microsoft's conference.
Oh yeah, it was like
demo did not go well at all.
It was like a fight against like a giant Titan thing, and you could definitely tell it was a live demo, actual game play, because at first the person playing it was not doing very well.
I'll just say right now, that demo made the game look like shit. It made it look like it wasn't even, like, it didn't even feel good to play. Just by watching it. It was a bad showing.
Well, I guess that it's that authentic, where it's like you play the game for the first time.
It's that authentic that it makes you not want to play Final Fantasy 15.
Well, it's that authentic, and since it's like, oh, first time playing it blind, it's like, oh, you're not going to do very well until you learn how to play it. I don't know.
I will say, it still hasn't reached DSP levels, because balls have not been exposed on stream, so...
And no one fell through the floor, so...
or just, you know, the controller didn't work and they had to reset the demo. Oh my god, I completely forgot about this next thing. But before I get to the thing that I forgot about, I want to briefly talk about, like, well, we'll talk about, Xbox has EA Access, we already know about this product, about this, like, program. It's Madden, but... The big thing is, like, oh, EA Access members get first dibs on Battlefield 1, which was the deal we knew about since Battlefield 1's reveal during not E3. And the worst part of this is they show the Battlefield 1 trailer that we already saw again. Nothing new. The same fucking trailer from yesterday. Like, are you kidding me? We don't need to see it again. But what if people... No! But the thing I forgot about was their whole time devoted to Minecraft. I completely forgot about... Scott, are you buckled in?
No.
Buckle up, because there's something that happens during this that'll make you question things, probably. So they come out, they announce cross-platform play for Minecraft, which is, well, whatever. It's cross-platform play. That's always a plus. But it's Minecraft. I'm barely focusing, especially when they have... I don't know if it's Notch's brother or son, because he has the same last name as, like, Notch, so I'm probably wrong with that. But they also had Minecraft Chick, and I didn't realize it was Minecraft Chick until they went to the gameplay and her character avatar said Minecraft Chick, and I'm just like, wait, is that No! But that's not what I wanted to, like, bring up in terms of buckling up, because at some point during the whole thing, they would talk about VR with Minecraft, and out comes John Carmack wearing a fucking Oculus on his head. Yeah! John Carmack just on stage wearing that shit. He shows up for like 10 seconds and then they just ignore him for the rest of the fucking Microsoft.
It was pretty much just like, hi, I'm John Carmack.
I made Doom. I already helped make Doom. I make Oculus now. Facebook is shit. Okay, but if there's one takeaway that I did not like from Microsoft conference, because for the most part, I was alright with Microsoft's conference, like, in general. They were showing games, which is what you should do. And of course, they talked about their hardware. But the Minecraft stuff just dragged it down, and that John Carmack reveal, hilarious, but really sad.
Yeah, it was so artificial. It was like, look at us having fun with these new features of Minecraft. Yes, we certainly are. You know, it was just, yeah.
And Minecraft Chick does not help. Because she works for Mojang, or has been working for Mojang for years now. I'm just like, oh, Christ, I just don't care about Minecraft anymore. Yeah, it's huge. Yeah, denotated Wham, sure, okay, but... And yeah, Microsoft fucking bought them, so of course they're gonna, like, shell out and shit, but fuck!
I should mention that, well, what they did try to show with the Minecraft stuff is that there was new customizable, like, modding or something you can do now in the Xbox version or something.
Yo, we have texture packs now. But
there's like a friendly something update that they added or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, one of the things they said was like, yo, we have texture packs now, which is like, yeah, it's on consoles, but fucking almost everyone plays Minecraft on PC, so...
Yeah, but I imagine a good
like,
chunk
for something like Fallout, like, I'd say that's a bigger excuse. Like, it's like, yeah, that's good, because I'd say there's just as much console players as there's PC. Minecraft, I'd say almost everyone's on PC.
Stop talking about Minecraft.
Yeah, I mean,
I want to stop.
Just fucking stop, okay? Look, a lot of people play it on consoles too. Let's just
stop! We're stopping Minecraft now. I'm hitting the hard button. One of the most confusing reveals was fucking... Yo, we have a looking for group feature. And I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. Fine. There's an indie game called Inside. They showed this last year. It's from the Limbo devs.
Yeah.
And they showed gameplay for We Happy Few, which looks really interesting.
Oh, I backed that on Kickstarter.
That was a Kickstarter game?
Yeah.
Oh shit! It's
for it.
Yeah, it's slightly delayed, but
looks trippy.
It looks really interesting from what I've seen.
They've been doing regular weekly or bi-weekly updates through their Kickstarter page, so I'm pretty familiar with it.
Well, that's nice. Witcher 3 had a card game called Gwent, and I'm not too familiar with it because I haven't played the Witcher game, but that card game minigame thing is getting a full release. They spent some time on that. One thing
Can't be any worse than Triple Triad.
Yeah. One thing that threw me off during the conference was the Tekken 7 reveal. Because they showed, like, Heihachi and Akuma from Street Fighter, and I thought, wait, are they actually doing Tekken Cross Street Fighter, even though Street Fighter Cross Tekken fucking Blue? But no, it's just Tekken 7. And you're like, oh shit! And then, like, the Tekken main guy was baller out on stage in this, like, kimono, and he just had his sunglasses on. You'll probably find images of that. It's floating around.
Yeah. It's pretty. It was amusing.
Then there was the Dead Rising 4 trailer, which I hate Microsoft for doing this. Throughout the whole conference, when they would show trailers, they would sometimes zoom out to the audience while the trailer's still playing. So if you're like watching, you're barely seeing what's going on screen. Literally 90% of the Dead Rising 4 trailer was looking at the audience to show that they're putting fake snow down on the audience, so I could barely see what was going on. They gotta stop that. Just, if you're showing a trailer, just make sure 90% of it is on the trailer and not the fucking audience, not the other way around. Hideki Kamiya comes out on stage to show more Scalebound, and I'm glad this showed up. Because they showed a boss fight. I honestly don't know how I feel about Scalebound.
Well, I can already tell that the dragon fighting is way better than Lair, I'll tell you that.
Well, that's Scalebound, everyone. That's your selling point right there. I have confidence that it'll be good, but for some reason I'm just not entirely sold. Maybe it's the pacing of the game that's throwing me off. I don't know. Especially coming from Platinum Games and stuff. It's a little weird.
They're going for more, well, no pun intended, scale instead of like fast combat. Rare showed off Sea of Thieves gameplay. Oh yeah.
Which had a bunch of face cam people.
Hey, at least the face cam people like looked legitimate.
More genuine than EA.
Or the Microsoft thing, or the Minecraft thing before it.
Also, Great Water. That's an amazing selling point. Great Water!
Actually, it was good looking water. And the game actually looks like it'll be fun, so I'm actually kind of looking forward to it.
Is this a weird comparison? For some reason, this looks like a pirate version of Guns of Icarus, because you're like, you got holes in your ship and you got, like, boarded up before you fucking sink, but it may be more in-depth than that.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad comparison, I would think. Or at the very least, like, the Assassin's Creed pirate stuff.
Yeah, and God, you could probably roleplay the shit out of the game, which, like, it seems really cool. I just wonder what else there is. But what I'm seeing right now, like, that seems like it'd be fun. Just with friends, though. I bet if you run into randoms, they'll actually force you to walk the plank, even though it's like, dude, stop, don't fucking walk the plank right now. They have, like, about 3 more reveals. State of Decay 2, I don't care about that. Honestly, I never played State of Decay 1 or cared, so...
It's another zombie game.
Not much to say. Halo Wars 2...
Yeah.
They showed a trailer for that.
And it looked fine.
We already knew Halo Wars 2 was a thing, but it's an update. They have a release date for it, though, which is like February 21st.
Yeah, no, I'll most likely get it because, well, I did do a video on Halo Wars and did mention the sequel, so...
They did have a beta. I'm saying have because by the time this podcast goes up, it will probably be past June 20th, which is where the beta will end.
Yeah, and that was on Xbox One, wasn't it?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm most likely going to get it on PC, so...
You'll have RTS controls, at least, on PC.
Yeah.
All units!
Pretty much. I hope they bring that back.
They might. So, the last thing they revealed was Project Scorpio, which is their more powerful Xbox One thing. Kind of like how PlayStation 4 is having its Neo, which, spoilers, Sony does not talk about it at this conference. They explicitly stated, no, yeah, it's real, but we're not talking about it because we're not ready. Which begs the question, what's the point of the Slim? You're coming out with a more powerful system.
Well,
like, why would I invest in a Slim despite it being the cheaper option? Why would I want that if it's not as powerful as what you're coming out with?
Well, why get any of them all if you have as long as you have a powerful computer and don't mind Windows 10, then you can just get most, if not eventually all, the games that are going to be on Xbox One anyway.
Pretty much.
That's kind of where I'm sitting anyway.
That was Microsoft. I mean...
Yeah, it was alright.
I'm surprised they didn't show more Crackdown 3.
Oh yeah, the new Crackdown. I'm surprised they
didn't show up.
They revealed it last year, didn't they?
Last year? It was either that or 2 years ago.
Yeah, something like that. But I assume it's still in development, so...
If I'm going for, like, the full overall conference, Microsoft was fine. Like, it was fine, but that's as much as I could say. I'm just, like... The whole systems thing is just really... It's iffy to me. Like, I don't understand, you know. Then after that came the PC gaming show, and then we're skipping that.
That one went on for a bit long, and
it went on and conflicted with Ubisoft.
Yeah, it actually ran like the tail end of it ran during the beginning of Ubisoft. So
yeah, Ubisoft, as per tradition, starts with fucking Just Dance. And this may be weird of me to say, but this was the better of the Just Dance reveals because they picked a good song. That doesn't mean it was good, but they picked a good song. They didn't have Jason Derulo sing badly on stage and get denied by Aisha Tyler in terms of being pulled on stage like last year. They played a Queen song, but the dancers were in ridiculous fucking outfits.
I think it's pretty much just them reminding everyone, like, hey, Just Dance still sells billions of copies. We're making another one. Okay.
That was the most they did with that. First actual thing they showed was Ghost Recon Wildlands, which was revealed last year, and I hated this demo because I hated the fake-ass fucking banter.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, you know it's so scripted. I'd rather have bad, genuine people talking on stage instead of just, like, pre-recorded shit. Because it just makes me want to play the game less.
Yeah, that whole scenario scene will totally happen and not go without any problems if you try and do it yourself when the game comes out.
Yeah, I mean, if I was the helicopter pilot, I'd park it upside down.
Also just Battlefield it?
Well, depending on how it controls, maybe. I'm not sold on this game. And that demo did not help. Honestly, it feels like it's going to be the Call of Juarez, the Cartel, or the Army of Two Devils Cartel installment of Ghost Recon.
Jeez.
I mainly say that in terms of the setting/thematic thing. Because the first reveal trailer is like, oh, we're going after drug cartels. And I'm like, yep, it's going to be one of those. I know that sounds super harsh, but it's just... drug cartels, that's original now. Oh. Then they immediately bounced back by showing more of the new South Park game and having Trey Parker and Matt Stone come back out. That was an entertaining section, honestly. Like, that was actually a fun watch. And
yeah.
they did show gameplay of the new South Park game. And it's looking really nice.
Yeah,
like, if you like Stick of Truth, you're probably going to like this game.
Yeah, I haven't played Stick of Truth, but this looks good too.
I'm really interested in how they changed the battle system. It's actually different from Stick of Truth.
Yeah, it's a bit more tactical.
Which, considering like now that the kids are like superheroes, it actually kind of fits. Especially like with the things you can do. I'm just like, oh shit, that's really interesting. But if you don't like South Park, then you already made your choice. If you like South Park, you made your choice. So
yeah, pretty much.
That's pretty much how that goes. That was an entertaining like segment though. I'm glad they got Trey Parker, Matt Stone back on stage. Division expansion packs pass.
Yeah.
It's more stuff for a game that's already out. Oh, Blondie, you want to take this next one because you're the Star Trek fan here.
Oh, I know you're going to talk about the Star Trek VR.
Yes. So they revealed a Star Trek VR game, and they had a video which had 4 cast members from some of the Star Trek series, including Geordie LaForge. What's his actor's name again?
LeVar Burton.
Yeah. And what's funny is, like, in the video, like, they're all talking about it, but, like, in the video, outside of seeing what, like, the VR thing showed, you just see all 4 of them just in an empty room in chairs, just, like, all yucking it up on Star Trek. And then they had Lamar Burton come out on stage to talk more about the game. And if I'm going to be perfectly honest, I think he sold it. Because his reaction seemed very genuine. Either that or he's a really good actor, but...
Leaning toward the latter.
I don't know, but...
Well, he is a good
actor. Working with a holodeck. I don't think VR is going to be that big for him.
Yeah, but this is like an actual, genuine, like...
They actually,
like
I think he
simulator.
actually talked about the comparison of like being on set versus that, where like on set you're like really not pressing anything. Well, in VR you're not really pressing anything either.
Yeah, but at least it's...
I think on set it was just like a blank thing instead of, you know, actually, I don't know how it works.
Well, yeah, I imagine, but the Star Trek fan of me is definitely intrigued by this. I wouldn't mind actually trying this out, even if just geek out a little, like, you know, simulate being on the bridge of the Enterprise, you know, but...
Engage. Just say engage.
Who can be my number one?
I'll be on number 2 and take a shit. Engage.
Okay, then. But yeah, I actually wouldn't mind trying it out at some point.
If we're talking graphics, the graphics did not look good, but
but
it seems like it would still be a fun experience if you're a Star Trek fan.
Yeah, exactly.
Best beard man, Jason Vanderberg, walks out on stage to talk more about For Honor. I just love how he's selling the game. Like he has enthusiasm with that voice.
Yeah, when he like narrated the concept of the game and
Vikings, Samurai, and Crusade. He seems like a great dude. I loved him last year. Like initially I was like, wait a minute, and then it grew on me. And now I'm a believer. They showed single player this time for the game. And I will say, out of all the games on this conference, I think For Honor is the one I'm looking at the most. Not in terms of the podcast, me talking about it, in terms of me going, I want to keep an eye on this game. I want to see if this game does good. Type of feeling.
Yeah, because it definitely looks interesting.
Like, with how the combat works, how it's... I know the demo didn't really show it that much, but, like, you can't take a lot of hits. I mean, the Viking guy took a lot of hits, because, well, demo, but, like, I'm pretty sure it'd be, like, a... Do I want to compare it to Bushido Blade in terms of, like, damage type of thing, where it's, like, you can't... Like, a clean hit would probably kill you? Type of deal, because at the end of the demo there was like that samurai boss and he did not take that many hits to kill, which means like, yeah, it can, you know, but I just wonder if it would keep its interest through the whole thing, even though For Honor does have multiplayer, but they showed that was like the thing they showed last year. I think it was also playable last year. Oh god, there was a VR game they showed on stage, the Eagle Flight thing. It's like, oh, this is cool, and then, like, immediately after, all you would hear are fucking bird screeches, caws being spammed, and it's like, I don't want to look at this game anymore.
Well, it at least looked interesting in terms of, like, you know, like, dogfighting as birds to chase each other and, like, through all this city landscape and stuff, so... And of course, it was, like, in Paris, because Ubisoft, but...
Sorry, that's how it went! That's how the whole thing went.
You just gotta caw your wind energy to beat the other birds to grab
the... shoot your caws at enemies.
To grab the prize to bring it to base. It's basically like capture the flag type of game.
I feel they went too long on that session. That and the cawing did not help. Grow Home's getting a sequel. It's called Grow Up. I haven't played Grow Home, so I wouldn't know too much.
Neither have I, so...
Oh! Trials HD got a new installment, which is Trials of the Blood Dragon, and when they announced it, it was a game that, like, immediately came out. So, yeah, it's out. I've never played Trials. If you like Trials, then there, enjoy your Blood Dragon setting. Blood Dragon's good.
Yeah, I actually I liked the trailer for it because it perfectly encapsulates like the 80s and 90s toy commercials, complete with like the action figures and
your breakable walls,
breaking through foam walls for no reason. Little tiny foam walls,
like the Aliens action figures. Oh my god! wasn't even born in the 80s and I still witnessed that shit.
Well, I said 90s. It was there. It was there too.
Yeah.
They had it there too.
Max Steel, yeah.
Yeah.
Going turbo.
Oh God.
Wasn't Max Steel more like 2000?
That still applies a little bit. The worst part of you could just say Just Dance was the worst part. No, I think the worst part of the conference is like, hey, yeah, we're not having an Assassin's Creed game this year, but let's talk about the movie.
Yeah.
They interviewed the director of the movie during this conference, and I tuned out immediately. I didn't care. I still don't care. I'm burnt out on Assassin's Creed.
A lot of people are, I imagine.
Like, after playing 4, a game I liked, I'm burnt out.
I haven't played any of them, and I don't really have an incentive to do so, because there's like so many of them now.
Secondhand burning out, holy shit.
Well, it's just there's so many.
The Undertale effect.
I'd still play through Undertale and enjoyed it.
Oh, well, yeah, but there are people out there that haven't played it and just don't want to.
Well, there's not like a dozen Undertale
games.
games. There isn't a dozen Undertale games, so...
Yeah, there's oversaturation and overpraise.
Anyway,
right.
So the movie...
we already knew... Well, most of us already knew that this game was coming. They pretty much announced it before E3. Watch Dogs 2. They showed gameplay. I don't care. Watch Dogs 1 made me question things.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, who's
I do remember that I think Watch Dogs 2 was on the Steam page, or at some point someone took a screen cap of it, and part of the description read, "Become the greatest hack in history."
That wording's not good.
Yeah, I mean, of course they made a sequel because, Watch Dogs sold well. But a lot of people were kind of miffed with that.
Including the 10 copies I saw at the Canadian EB Games that were all in the used bin lined up.
Most returned game of 2014.
Okay, so the last thing that Ubisoft showed was a new IP, a snowboarding / skiing game called Steep.
Yeah, that definitely looks like it'll be like interesting in terms of just like a giant, I guess, snowboarding skiing game, or extreme sports rather, I should say, with like mountain tops.
It's nice that they showed off footage and gameplay and stuff instead of just a trailer, but
yeah, including people just getting smacked in the side of the mountain, pretty much dying.
But they're not dead though. It was a joke.
Hell, the trailer ended with like a guy like gliding into a church bell.
It's funny how people have been like jokingly asking for Skate 4 at the EA conference, and Steve may as well be Skate 4. I guess, but whatever.
Or this is Ski Freak 2, pretty much. I don't know.
Dude, don't toy with my heart like that. I don't want to die. So
well, you will pretty much die if you just get into the church bell or whatever.
Was that the Yeti from Ski Freak?
DLC.
Moving on to Sony, the biggest...
I got this. Because I saw
better
this
get
one.
it.
So they started off with Dad of War.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's the way to call it. Oh, Kratos' reveal was hilarious. I'm hungry!
I'm not sure what to think of this. I mean, when was the last God of War game? Now that I think about it.
That was Ascension, which was pretty much the Gears of War Judgment of the God of War series.
I forgot that game existed!
Exactly.
I thought 3 was actually the last one.
Okay, I mean, I have played most of those games, except for Ascension, actually. But I will admit that I do like the games for what they are, but after like 3 and like the second PSP one, Ghost of Sparta, I kind of got burnt out of the series. But this at least looks like a fresh new take on God of War, which I'll be down for.
Which you'll take?
It looks interesting, but the demo they had went on way too long. There was too much of just Kratos walking around in the snow.
It's like they're trying to evoke Last of Us, which is like really confusing for God of War. Like, I don't have much connection with God of War. Never really played them. I played a bit of 2. but that was it. I don't own any of the games. I was never really truly interested, and I'm still not really interested. I'm just really intrigued that they made such a huge change compared to the older ones, but I'm still not, like, excited personally. It's probably just not for me either way.
Well, I will say this. I think it's cool that they're doing a switch of mythologies. It looks like it's going for more Norse mythology instead of Greek mythology. So I do like that. And yeah, there was a bit of, like, I guess a bit of a slow pace at the start because you know, it's doing world building and character building, which Kratos here, I will say this. He's showing more character and emotion than he ever did the entire series before. So I'm already approving of that.
Setting the bar that low, huh?
Dude, if you actually play through the games, 99%.
I have played a couple of
fucking lowered.
Yeah, but there's a reason why I call Kratos in the old, at least now in the old God of War games, like just permascowl, because that's all he ever does 99.9% of the time. He's just constantly just frowning and vengeful. Here, at least, you know, he has a son, and you know, there's actual character
that he probably will maybe not kill at the end. Who knows? I'm basing this off of God of War, period.
Moving on from that, I'm going to skip over something and come back to it later. But The Last Guardian has a release date.
I approve of it!
Whoa! They're actually working on it.
October 25th! Go fly it! Oh.
Just with the way things have gone so far, I'm expecting a delay of some sort.
Well, let's not jinx it. Hopefully it will be out by then.
Yeah, fingers crossed, dude.
They showed more of Horizon Zero Dawn, and I didn't mention this at first, but Sony they did this thing in this legit theater, and there was an orchestra pit with an orchestra that was playing music along to several of the games that they were showing.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah, they opened it up with like a music number, really, and that kind of led into God of War.
Yeah, and then, like, for a second I thought, are we watching the right thing? Are we sure we're not just at a music concert and not E3? I was wondering if you tuned into the right thing.
Sony attempting to class out the joint after Ubisoft's Just Dance bullshit.
Attempting to class up the joint after their fucking bombshell of last year's reveals.
Well, they were never going to top that.
I'd say they still did a pretty good job this year with certain things. But yeah, there would be no way they could top that unless they announced Half-Life 3 on their stage.
So Horizon Zero Dawn.
It looks interesting.
Cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
Nature, robots, and stuff.
It's just like keep an eye on it, but, you know.
And then we get to David Cage.
Quick story.
Hello, my old friend.
So, quick story. When that trailer showed, I was like, this is looking cool. Like, it really is looking cool. And it's like, oh, multiple paths? Like, yeah, I guess so. Then I saw the title, and it said Detroit, like, Beyond Human or something. I'm
Becomes
like, oh
Human.
no, it's the David Cage game! Never mind!
I
already knew what their next game was called, but I didn't know that was the game until they showed the title, and I just promptly backed out.
So, this is the game that David Cage thinks is going to be unique because the androids are... What did he say? Like, the androids aren't the bad guys?
Except there's an android that's totally a bad guy in the thing because he's like...
Yeah, and you know, aliens, Bishop, Data from Star Trek. There's lots of androids in sci-fi that are,
It's like how Uwe Boll said that his Dungeon Siege movie wasn't like Lord of the Rings because there was no ring.
What?
I'm just gonna leave that out there and move on.
Oh, Jesus.
Because now we have to get back in the kitchen.
Ooh.
Resident Evil 7.
Yeah! Ooh.
Somebody played PT.
Well, yeah, they actually do have some PT devs working with them now, because, well, after Konami, I don't think they had jobs. So why not go to the other horror franchise that's still at least making games, let alone devs that are still making games?
Now, I'm not expecting this to be fully reflective of what Resident Evil 7 is going to be.
Well, yeah, if we're talking mainly about the demo they released the same night they revealed that trailer. That was a good-ass trailer. Like I actually had I had a feeling they would show Resident Evil 7 at this year's E3, but I didn't know it was going to be that. That's what made me lose my shit. I was like, "Holy crap, this is Resident Evil now?" I'm legit excited, and people have been digging into this released demo, thinking that there's this whole mystery about these alternate endings and shit, which may or may not be true because Capcom could probably be just trolling us.
Capcom has said there is a quote-unquote good ending.
Again, they could be trolling us. It's hard to tell. There have been a couple of breakthroughs recently, but it's still kind of mashing your axe against a goddamn brick wall right now.
Or the cardboard box, same effect.
Yeah. I can't believe they put out a release date. A concrete release date for Resident Evil 7. I'm actually excited. I mean, fuck Umbrella Corps. I don't give a shit about that. I don't think anyone should.
That'll be on the next podcast.
I don't think anyone will.
Dude, I'm not buying that game for next podcast. No, thank you.
I'm sure we'll have something to report on it, but moving on.
Yeah, moving on. The big thing with Resident Evil 7 is that it started to introduce the section of the conference that mainly focused on PlayStation VR.
Star Wars Battlefront X-Wing VR missions, Arkham VR, Farpoint VR.
The only interesting Star Wars reveal that happened, and it wasn't at fucking EA's fucking conference.
Yeah, go figure.
Not.
I mean, as cool as the VR stuff is, and like I said with the Star Trek thing, I wouldn't mind trying it out. It's just I don't really have the means or let
alone the price. It's gonna be an investment.
$400 US.
I have that much now. Spoilers.
Well, for the PlayStation one, yeah.
Well, that led into Final Fantasy 15, another trailer.
Oh my god,
VR.
That stupid ass Prompto thing. It was pretty much that kid at the PC then giving the fucking guy looking at the fucking thumbs up shit. That was Prompto in VR. I heard that people played it on the show floor said it sucked. Because you're just on rails, you don't really control them. And it's naturally.
Well, I think more people are looking forward to the actual Final Fantasy 15 instead of, the side VR thing, so...
After the Xbox thing, I'm concerned.
Well, speaking of concerned, they led into Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
If I'm gonna be 100% honest, what they showed was a better showing than the reveal trailer they had.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if YouTube's gonna agree.
I mean, as much as people are probably getting burnt out of Call of Duty, this is hey, look, space battle. It's
I think the thing is, A, people are getting burnt out of Call of Duty. B, the devs making this made Ghosts, and Ghosts did not go well. So trust is low. Nothing else to say on that.
I'm not gonna like this portion.
I know you're not.
So they had a bunch of visual effects that they were putting on the stage for various games, and then this background shows up and this music kicks on and this shadow is on the ground following this guy onto the stage. It's Crash Bandicoot. It's clearly Crash Bandicoot, and they announced that they are so excited to say that they're remastering some games.
Yeah, they're remastering the original Crash trilogy, I believe.
Sean Layden specifically said we came to an agreement with Activision.
Meaning Activision still...
Activision is still, fuck you, give me money.
Yeah, they're still holding on to Crash by his balls. Because the Skylander shit as well, right?
Yeah, because Crash is in Skylanders now, and my hype is dead. Well, speaking of my care levels being negative, Lego Star Wars Force Awakens. It looks okay.
It's just Lego Star Wars.
I don't care about Lego.
To give credit, to give credit, it's the demo's out now, and while waiting for the Resident Evil 7 demo to fucking go up on the American store, I'm fine, I guess I'll play the Lego Star Wars demo. They make fun of Kylo Ren. because Kylo Ren's just like in a room filled with Darth Vader merchandise, like a bedroom.
Okay, that's
actually
like,
pretty
funny.
Good, yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, the video games are fine for what they are, and they can be fun, and they poke fun at the source material. So
I had trouble with the demo. Like, I had no idea what the fuck to do for like a good 15 minutes, and then I felt stupid.
Well, speaking of what the fuck,
indeed.
Kojima showed up, and he didn't
Kojima!
show up. He appeared at the top of this big-ass stage. Mad Max Fury Road music starts playing. Lights are going off. He walks down to the stage.
Light show walkway appeared in front of him.
And he got a huge ovation from the crowd.
Dude, hello everyone. I'm back. And everyone fucking cheers.
And then he showed the trailer for Death Stranding, starring Norman Reedus.
Yep, he's on board for
Baby
that.
Crop.
Yeah.
And dead crabs.
It's
and
Kojima,
beeps.
so you knew it was going to be cryptic and what the fuck. But even for Kojima, this was pretty what the fuck.
This is what happens when the limiters are taken off of Kojima, and he just goes nuts.
It was the most what the fuck thing of the conference, let alone I'd say E3.
And then, of course, Norman Reedus later on Instagram posted the picture of Kojima drinking Konami's tears.
Yeah, I'm really happy Norman Reedus is working on a project with Kojima, because after the whole Silent Hill shit, they needed something to do together. Del Toro just quit video games, so oh well.
Maybe you can convince him somewhere down the line.
Yes, yeah, it'd be too soon.
He's just had terrible luck, like trying to get a game going. Del Toro, so.
Well, after that we had Spider-Man, which,
Well, it's being made by Insomniac, and it's at least promising. It has more going for it than your typical license game.
Maybe it'll be a good Spider-Man game.
Okay, now we're getting back to the thing that I skipped over before. Earlier in the conference, they showed a trailer for a game called Days Gone.
Oh, it's like another post-apocalypse kind of zombie game, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's starring not the guy from Ride to Hell Retribution.
He just has a kind of a similar biker jacket. That's it, really. And he drives a bike, so.
And he emotes, so that's a step up.
It's anything's a step up from Ride to Hell, but.
Well, it's a biker bounty hunter guy.
Just wait for the fully clothed sex scenes.
They show this. It was a demo, a live demo, and they're playing through this abandoned area. He's hunting this one guy down, and then they get attacked by not zombies.
A swarm of golems.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but well, number one, it's impressive that they had that many moving characters on the screen at the same time.
Yeah, and the way they flowed as they went after the guy.
It was just like a giant tidal wave of golems after you.
The other thing I noticed was that I know it's a playable demo, and I know that they're not going to stack the deck against the guy playing the demo too much. But there were moments where he was getting really close to the swarm, and golems were just walking past him, not trying to attack him at all.
I noticed that. The other thing I noticed is, holy shit, how much ammo do you have in this post-apocalyptic shit?
Yeah, that too.
The ammo thing was the first thing I noticed. I'm just like, are you gonna run out? No, okay. I guess he just killed everyone.
So, fun fact with the developers of this, I believe they were developers who did what was it? The PlayStation stealth games.
Oh.
So Siphon Filter. Yeah,
and Bubsy 3D.
Yeah, I was gonna say they were also at one point developers for Bubsy 3D.
That
good was their first
note to end this discussion on.
It was their first game, so and then they came this. So.
And then they made good games, I guess.
So Sony had a strong showing.
Yeah, Sony had especially compared to last year. It's how could you top it? You don't. Yeah. You just put on a super good showing and get me excited for Resident Evil again.
Yeah, it was pretty good. There was some stuff that I was definitely into.
Well, now we can very quickly go over Nintendo because they didn't have a conference. They just had a bunch of Treehouse stuff mainly.
Yeah, and there's really only one game we can really talk about, which
there's actually two.
Actually, I'll just go through a list of things that they showed, sort of, at the conference. They showed that they're going to get Severed and Axiom Verge, which, about time.
They're going to get... Wait, Axiom Verge?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Jotun Rainbow Pockets, Rhythm Heaven Megamix, Box Boy, Dragon Quest VII going to 3DS.
Cool.
Mario Party Star Rush, Pokemon Go. They did show Monster Hunter Generations for a little bit.
Yep.
Paper Mario Color Splash.
Which, not a lot of people looking forward to.
Yokai Watch 2. Yes, they're still pushing this. And they showed some of Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
Wait, SCR, didn't they show a new RPG IP?
Yes, Ever Oasis.
Yeah, I wanted to briefly talk about that, because unfortunately I didn't see much of it, though. I just knew it was a thing. None of you guys caught a glimpse of that?
I watched the trailer of it. For some reason I'm getting, like, I can't really explain this. I'm getting sort of a Zelda meets Animal Crossing vibe to it.
I'd have to look into it myself.
Because it's all about, like, meeting people who are in your village or traveling through it, and then you can use them in battles later, and it involves a lot of switching between party members to pull off effective attacks. It's kind of difficult to explain.
This is the first I've hearing about it, so
yeah, that was like one of the new things they showed at E3. I think that was probably the only new thing that wasn't stuff that was already coming down the pipeline, I believe.
But mainly they just showed hours and hours and hours and hours of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Zelda Chronicles X.
Zelda Breath of the Wild Chronicles X. No, Zelda Souls. Yeah, there's a lot of like changes they've done with Zelda in this game, and I'm on board. I'm really intrigued with what they're doing. Like the stuff I saw, I'm just like, holy shit.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it's going kind of harkening back to like a similar design of like the very first Zelda, where it's pretty much just open world, you wander around and stuff, but they give you a lot of stuff to do, and there's a lot of things to get and just kind of go at your own leisure sort of thing.
A whole lot of more freedom of movement too.
Yeah, at least
there's multiple weapon types. They have durability. Your armor actually has stats, like mainly just defense only, but like you can change your pants and shirt to accommodate weather and or defense.
Or just go
surf on your shield.
Or just go through the game just in your swim trunks.
You can flub the demo like Bill Trinan did by not turning the timer off.
You can climb.
Stamina from Skyward Sword is back, which I didn't have a problem with in Skyward Sword. There's no heart pickups in terms of getting your health back. You have to get food to eat it, and you could cook food to have temporary hearts to extend your life. It's crazy. It doesn't sound like Zelda, but it sounds so cool.
Well, like I said, it's still kind of like in the sense of the first Zelda, just kind of exploring a vast open world type of thing.
I think they said there's going to be like 100 mini dungeons or something, and dungeons or like, and the dungeons still like have items you need to get for the world. And the most interesting thing is they pretty much said, yo, you can just go straight to the final boss if you wanted. It won't go well, but you can do it. So
like Soul Sacrifice.
I can expect speedruns of this game based on that alone.
5-minute speedruns.
Pretty much.
All completely naked.
Naked % run.
or swim trunks % run, I guess. I don't know.
We have to wait till like next year for it, obviously.
And but I'm
time at the NX stuff. I am on board with this game. My only concern is that from what they showed, a lot of the world did seem kind of empty.
Yeah, I mean, that is, I guess, a slight concern. If there's like, hopefully there are more NPCs and maybe even towns defined.
If its population thing was if it has like enemy or something population slightly less than the scale of Xenoblade Chronicles X, I'll be okay. But right now it does seem kind of barren outside of a few spots.
I think I'm desensitized to big open areas because, like I said before with MMORPGs, I played EverQuest. Anyone who's ever played EverQuest and run through these huge open plains areas called the Karanas for hours, nothing bothers me after that.
Was it just like no enemies at all during that type of shit?
There were sparse enemies. You had to hunt for them.
I mean, I'm only saying like the open world stuff. Like it's like whoa. Just in terms of Zelda, like it's crazy that they're doing so many changes.
Yeah, they're definitely like.
This is Nintendo we're talking about.
They're definitely taking like an open world concept, again like the first Zelda, I would think anyway, and just expanding upon and doing just whatever you want to do with the environment and stuff like that. So I'm definitely looking forward to that as well.
I think that'll be the note we end on E3. Should also note, last thing, on the show floor, 160 booths set up for fucking Zelda, and that was all they had on the show floor, and it still wasn't enough. People were still being turned away from playing Zelda because there wasn't enough.
I have a couple of minor notes to end with E3. One is bad, one is good. One is that outside of the main E3 area, they had a separate area set up called E3 Live, which, by most accounts, sucked. There weren't a whole lot of playable demos. There was mainly a bunch of merchandise you could buy. But the good news is, Natsume had a booth at E3, and there was this couple that was going to their booth, and right by this big-ass display that they had, I think for Harvest Moon, because they published that game, the dude proposed, and she accepted.
Holy shit.
Did he propose with like a blue feather or whatever that is in Harvest Moon?
Actually, yes.
That's cute.
And with that, the E3 discussion comes to a close. Clothes? Close.
Link doesn't have clothes.
Yeah, if you choose to.
But now we can go into viewer questions. And believe it or not, we still have a question that's been sitting here for several months.
We apologize.
Yeah, sorry perhaps a human. This seems to be a pattern with him, asking about US presidents, but which US presidents would you form a rock band with?
Can I say Canadian Prime Minister since I'm Canadian?
How about this? You can say some Canadian Prime Ministers, but at least half the members have to be US presidents.
Oh, so
Do
like
vice presidents count?
So...
No.
Shit.
So what, half and half, like, with the site? Really? Just trying to remember from my history about Prime Ministers in Canada. Oh, I could maybe go with John A. Macdonald, our first Prime Minister. Maybe as a lead guitarist, I don't know. And then, maybe John Mackenzie King on drums. I'm not really sure where he would fit in, but he was a prominent Prime Minister during the early 20th century in World War II, so there you go. And that's for the rest, I don't know. Abraham Lincoln, because he's an obvious choice, and, let's get George Washington, get the first in there. The first Prime Minister and the first President.
Can I go next?
Go ahead.
Sure.
John Adams on vocals.
Oh, TS.
Yeah, I knew you would understand why I picked fucking John Adams on vocals. Barack Obama on bass guitar. Because John F. Kennedy on guitar. And, oh fuck, who on drums? Fuck, where is he? Oh, okay, Theodore Roosevelt on drums.
Oh.
I forget, was he wheelchair bound or am I mixing
No,
this
that's
up?
Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Oh, can I change my answer? No.
You can.
Can I change?
No, it's too late.
Can I change mine to
Teddy
like?
Roosevelt on drums.
Can I change mine to like both Trudeau Prime Ministers, like the old and the new one?
Also, the keyboardist will abstain courteously, so I'm done.
Angel, you have any answer for this?
I think he's dead.
I'm sorry, what's going on?
Well, we're still doing the
fuck you.
podcast.
We're moving on. I can
Well,
tell you
so
who
much for
I
that.
wouldn't have in the band. I wouldn't have Andrew Jackson. He would be the guy who would be getting drunk for shows and then cussing out fans, like Puddle of Mud. So I'm looking for someone very particular. Herbert Hoover I wouldn't have on, because I don't trust him with money. Let's see, I would have John F. Kennedy on vocals.
Is it because Dead Kennedy's joke?
Well, I wasn't going to go there, but okay. Franklin Delano Roosevelt on drums because, well, he's sitting down anyway.
Well, at least you took that instead of me. So we had the same mindset, but I picked the wrong guy.
I was actually going to go for Teddy Roosevelt initially.
Shit, we could have, like, completely opposite.
I'm going with a homer pick and saying Grover Cleveland for bass guitar. Let's see. I sort of want to say Ulysses S. Grant, but drinking, so not too big on that one. You know what? You know who I think could be an okay lead guitar? Jimmy Carter. And then we'll have Ronald Reagan on keyboards, just because.
Richard Nixon just... Arrgh.
He's a death metal vocalist.
Nah, he'd be the Axl Rose and just get mad at everything. I guess we're good with that question.
Yeah, so if anyone has an actual question they want to ask us, what is it about this podcast that attracts these kind of questions?
I don't know. I'm just glad to even get... At this point, we're just glad to even get any questions at all.
Right, so if anyone does want to ask us any questions for the next podcast, which will not be in 5 months...
Hopefully.
Feel free to ask us on the YouTube upload or in the comment section on the site. You can also ask us on Twitter or on Facebook, facebook.com/RiverCityGamers. For now, though, let's get into video updates. And just to get the ball rolling, I'm going to start this one off. There's an episode of $5 Gaming that is in the works right now. I've done all the scripting for it. I've done all the recording for it. It's just in the editing phase right now. So that should be up, hopefully, by the end of the month. In the meantime, I have the video after that, which I haven't worked on yet. It's going to be an SCX. But there's also another series that I'm going to start doing. And some of you guys in the call know what this is.
Yeah.
But I'm holding off on announcing it for a bit until I make some substantial amount of progress, at least on the recording phase of it. I actually have started scripting it, and I do have like a page and a half so far. And on one last note, Unreal, I swear, we're going to get to Michigan probably within the next month.
Oh, I almost forgot. I even saw the game at your place. I'm like, when are we doing Michigan?
But that's it for me.
Yeah, sure, I'm still on board for that.
Good. Somebody else talk now.
Okay, I got a quick one. I got a crossover that's being, like, technically being worked on. I'll just say right now, during our Anime North trip, got pretty much all of our live-action filming done. We did that first before we wrote anything.
Great plan.
Seriously.
That's a good start.
But we pretty much, like, have a general idea of what we're going to talk about. I guess I'll hold off on saying what the game is and who I'm crossing over with. But I'll just say, the live-action filming's done. You missed anything, fuck it! We'll just do anything else. All I just know is, it's just going to be a pain in the ass to send files over Skype because they added a fucking megabyte limit, which is not good. So that's probably going to make this process even longer.
It's probably going to be a series of Dropbox transfers, isn't it?
Yeah, like one at a time, or even less than that. Like, ugh, not prepared. That's all I got on my end outside of still trying to catch up on con videos that are years old, including the recent Anime North one. Alright, someone take over, go!
Okay, I'm actually in the works of a new video for a series. It's actually one that came about thanks to the first Patreon goal that was met. So that has been in the works. I've already recorded the game footage for it, and I've been writing the script. So, at the very least, it'll be out by this month, hopefully. And other than that, I'm most likely going to do another kickback, probably on the, well, my number 9's coming out, which I'm sure everyone's looking forward to. So, I'll probably do a quick video on that. And other than that, I'll work on the next Black Sheep Game review after the this new video is out, and just keep going on from there.
I graduated with an associate's degree in radiation technology.
Amazing video update!
Is
Prepare to see those graduation tapes on YouTube in the coming months.
As such, it's right now uncertain as to if I'll be getting back into making videos. I have ideas, but I don't want to make any empty promises right now.
Fair enough. Well, that leads us to the end of the podcast. So, I'm SCXCR.
I am Unreal.
I'm Blondeguygamer.
And I contributed somehow.
And it's only...
You sat through all of E3 and you just blanked out remembering, oh god, that happened. Oh no!
I think that actually pretty much sums up this year's E3, really, if you think about it.
Set your calendar, guys. Only 51 more weeks until more disappointment.
I mean,
I'll just say, we're getting disappointment next week, I believe. There are 2 weeks. When does Mighty Number 9 come out? Oh, I spoiled it. Oh.